Welcome to the Atlanta Baseball Podcast. I know it's been a hot minute. Haven't done one in a couple series. Went on vacation to Idaho, Yellowstone area. If you've never been, I highly recommend to go. It was absolutely wild. We went there in June, where it was like 90 degrees in Georgia, and it snowed up there. So that was a pretty wild experience, but a good experience. But yeah, so a lot's happened since our last podcast. The Braves played the Blue Jays and the Pirates at home. Had a great homestand, going 5-1 against those teams. Swept the Pirates, but then they went on the road to the White Sox and then the Mets, and that did not go so well. They went 1-4 against those teams. So they're coming back home. They're going to get things right, playing at home, have a great series, great two series here, um, and they'll get the ship righted. Um, they got the Giants and then the Brewers coming to town before they hit back the road. Um, so over those series, Albies, Harris, Olsen, the big three now, they were doing great. Dubon has had an insane 2 weeks. Though over the last 2 weeks, he's hitting 308 with 3 home runs and 8 RBIs, which is phenomenal. Eli White, he's also been a bright spot during the road trip. He went 4 for 9 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Pretty much our only bright spot on that horrible road trip. But you're going to have some stinkers throughout the season. But yeah, Eli White was good. Um, Man, I gotta stop humming all the time. I'm gonna try and work on that. I'm gonna try and work on that. Dominic Smith, he's unfortunately kind of coming back to earth. He's hit 121 over his last 33 at bats after he started to really get some playing time in that DH spot with Baldwin and Acuna out. So with the uptick in playing time, he's not handling it well. And then also Riley, he's hitting 167 over his last 36 at bats with no home runs and only 2 RBIs, which is abysmal. I know I said I wasn't going to do kind of hitting breakdowns and like what he's doing wrong, but I'm going to try and put up videos just what I'm seeing and to show you like what I think he's kind of doing wrong or what I think the problem is. Hopefully he writes it. I'm not quite sure how he's going to do it, but hopefully he has lots of private hitting lessons with Chipper Jones during this homestand. Also, Kim, he's not playing very much at all. He's only got 11 ABs over the last 4 series, which means he's not playing hardly ever. And when he is, he's not doing well. So I don't know what they're going to do with him. They can't have a $20 million shortstop getting 11 ABs over 4 series. So I don't know what the plan is there, but they've got to figure something out. Bryce Elder, moving on to kind of the pitchers, he hasn't really been that good lately. He's given up 11 runs over his last 16 and 2/3 innings, which is very uncharacteristic. He had a terrible game against the Mets. But I think those are just kind of the lulls of the season. I think that he's going to get back on track, especially with him not being like a power pitcher. I think he'll figure it out. Watching the game of the Mets, like he was making good pitches. Sorry, my eyes are bugging me. Got to put my glasses back on. He's been making good pitches, and it's not like that he's leaving everything over the plate. They're just kind of hitting him. And I think he's in a bad stretch of luck right now, to be honest. I don't really see him doing a whole lot. He's missing his spots. But it's not like that he's getting just absolutely shelled. Just a bunch of hits. Um, the big news coming out of the break is that Spencer Strider went down again. That is going to be it's going to be tough, not so much for the fact of like he was a dominant pitcher, but just that's just another arm. And whenever you have arms go on, especially go down, especially reliable starters, it's always going to take a toll on your roster. Um, it just got announced tonight that he's not going to do surgery. they're going to completely shut him down for 4 weeks, and then he's going to get another MRI to see where it's at, and hopefully he can then just like start lightly tossing. That does not sound good to me. I read an interesting article that about pitchers when they receive a second Tommy John surgery and how their careers go. They have a lot of guys not do well and not really rebound very well. But then there are also some guys who do well, like I think DeGrom, um, and I'm forgetting Otani. He's got 2 Tommy Johns, so there is hope. But the problem with Strider is that this potentially might be his second Tommy John, but it's going to be his 3rd surgery if he has to have surgery at the end of these 4 weeks. And once a pitcher has 3 surgeries, it's pretty much game over for them. So I know I'm not a doctor and I have no information on the situation, but I would bet that they know those kind of statistics and know that like doing a surgery right now would be a career killer for him. And that's why they just said, hey, we're just going to shut it down for 4 weeks and then take another MRI. Most of the time, you like, oh, we're going to shut it down for 6 weeks and then start throwing, or we're going to shut it down for 2 weeks and then start throwing. Very rarely do you get like shut it down for 4 weeks and then take a second look. So I don't have a lot of high hopes that Spencer Strider will be back this season. But the good news is that Drake Baldwin is going to be back. He got activated today, and he's been hitting the ball pretty well. And Gwinnett hit an absolute bomb. I think it was yesterday or the day before. So hopefully he can come back and make an impact and make this ship righted again and have a really good homestand. But we are going to be playing the Giants the first series of this homestand. The Giants are struggling. They went with they got a new manager that I'm sure that you've heard about, Tony Vitello. Hopefully that's how you say his name. Vitello. Tony Vitello. And he is the only manager to make the jump from college baseball straight to the major leagues. There's been managers that have gone college baseball to the minors and then up to the major leagues to coach, but he's the only one to go straight from the college baseball at University of Tennessee, up to the major leagues. And it's not really gone well for him at all. At the beginning of the season, there was lots of reports that he was not connecting with the players, that he was trying to give like rah-rah speeches and like get upset with the players and yell at them and have come to Jesus talks and kind of treat it as a college program. Because he was that guy in college. He was that fiery coach. He was always getting ejected. He was always getting arguments. He was built on energy. His team fed off of it. He was a really, really great college coach. Now coming to the pros, I don't think you can really like yell at a dude who's making, $20 million and who's got a wife and kids and things like that. Who's been a league vet of 15 years. He's not going to really respond well to, getting chewed out and stuff like that. So yeah, they struggled earlier in the year and really haven't done very well. They are 29-43. They're 16 games back on their division. Holy cow, that is not good. And their pitching has been struggling big time this year, and they just don't have the bats to bail them out on games. But speaking of pitching, we're facing 3 guys: Hauser, great last name, Ray, and then Roop. Hauser, he's not been good. 2-6 for the year, a 5.54 ERA. In his last 4 starts, he hasn't made it out of the 5th inning, and he's given up 3 or more runs in his last 5 starts. So not good statistics. Hopefully the Braves jump on him early and often, get into the pen game 1, and we'll just start teeing off on him the rest of the series. Because then the next pitcher, Ray, He is 4-6, has a 4.42 ERA, so a little better. But his last 5 starts, he's pitched 5 2/3 or less. His last start, he gave up 5 earned runs. So the taking is there for the Braves for sure. Then to close out Game 3, you got Roop. He's 5-7 with a 4.24 ERA. Very up and down, though. He's probably the better pitcher of all of them because at least he has good starts mixed in with his bad starts. Like last start, he gave up 4 runs. The start before that, 1 earned run. Then the start before that, 8 earned runs. So very up and down. So I think the Braves can score a lot of runs this series. A lot of runs this series. For us, we got Holmes, Richie, and Perez. Richie was called up the other day and did a great job coming in for Spencer Strider. So I'm looking to see how well he does. But Holmes is going to be throwing Game 1. He's 4-2. He's got a 4.05 ERA. I thought that would have been a lot lower. But he's gotten shelled a couple games. He had a real bad start against the White Sox. So looking for a rebound. He seems to be on a really, really short leash whenever he pitches. I get that he's not very good the second time through the lineup and real bad the third time through the lineup. I know he doesn't get a lot of swings and misses. I just don't think that he's really consistent. I think he's got good start, and sometimes he puts them together and has real good starts. But I wouldn't be surprised if he gets moved to the bullpen. I think his only saving grace of staying in the starting rotation is Strider going down. But I know that the Braves have got some arms in the minor leagues that they're trying to figure out what to do with. So we'll see what Holmes does, and hopefully he stays in that role and he does well in it. Then Game 2, Richie, he did such a great start coming in for Strider, throwing 5 innings in relief and only giving up 2 hits. I mean, that's just phenomenal. The Braves didn't get the win, but he kept us in the game, and we just couldn't hit our way to a W. Excuse me. The big knock on him that kind of was the reason why I think he got sent down was his swing and miss rate. Apparently, he's got a low swing and miss rate, which I honestly think is just a stupid stat. I understand why people look to it and saying that pitchers need swing and misses because if a hitter's making contact, it's probably going to get to hits. But I just don't really buy into that. I think that pitchers can get a lot of soft contact, and I think that if he figures it out and has a little more time in the bigs, he'll be able to figure out how to get that soft contact. Because I mean, he has the stuff, like throwing 5 innings, only give up 2 hits, and he's had a couple good starts. He's had a couple bad starts, but I think that if you kind of look past the swing and miss rate and look at his overall body of work, I think he'll be a pretty good pitcher for us. Perez then is going Game 3. He's having a great year, 5-3 with a 2.9 ERA. Anytime you're below a 3 ERA, you're doing something right. He was a bright spot in the Mets series. He actually won a game. But he hasn't, the only knock on him is his depth. He hasn't pitched 6th inning in his last 6 starts. So hopefully he can change that, keep his pitch count low, and get past or into the 6th inning and past the 6th inning, which I think will be phenomenal. You know how I like pitchers going deep into the games. Yeah, so that's the pitching recap. Quick other note on the Giants. Like I said, they're 16 games back. They're having a terrible year, but the big bright spot for them is rookie Bryce Eldridge. He was their top prospect going into the season. He got called up May 4th. Played a little sporadically when he first got called up, and then has just knocked the cover off the ball in the last 20 games. He's reached base 20 straight games. He's hitting .391 in those 20 games. He's a first baseman. can absolutely mash. So look out for him. Hopefully he doesn't run into one and find that short porch in right field. Um, and hopefully our pitchers can kind of keep him at bay for sure. So moving on to my bold predictions. No, not my bold predictions. Not my bold predictions. Just the predictions for the series. I think it's going to be a series win for the Braves. I think if it's not only a series win, but I think there's a strong possibility of a sweep. I'm not going to predict a sweep, but I think it's a strong possibility for a sweep. But I do predict that we score more than 20 runs over these 3 games. I think the bats come alive against these Giants pitchers playing back at home. The ball's flying out of the park. This weather's warming up. I think it's going to be a good time for the Braves offense. The bold prediction, though, Drake Baldwin comes back. He hits really well, picks up where he left off, and he gets 5 hits this series. That's my bold prediction. Hopefully, I do better than what I predicted Sean Murphy coming back and doing well. I hope actually Drake Baldwin does well. So that's it. That's a series recap for the Giants. I'm going to kind of do a thing here the next hopefully the next couple days, weeks and stuff. Going to be trying to post on social a lot more, at least once a day. Would love for you guys to interact with it. I'll post all my tag all my social media handles in the description. Please follow and tell me what you think. See you next series.